Candy corn is a big deal in the United States, with over 35 million pounds being sold in stores annually. The U.S. candy corn crop is grown on 6 million acres, comprising just under 7% of the total acreage planted with corn each year. Despite this, very few people realize that the candy corn we buy in the store started its life in farmers' fields all over the Midwest just a few months earlier. So, we paid a visit to the Candy Corn Improvement Lab to see the trick behind the treat.
Did you know that there are different kinds of corn? There's the kind of corn that you see growing along the roadside, that's field corn, which is different than sweet corn that you eat right off the cob in the summer. And that then is entirely different from popcorn, which you might have at a movie theater. But this right here, this is my favorite kind of corn.
Professor Snoep-Mias is in charge of candy corn breeding and genetics here at the university, and he also trains graduate students who have projects studying all parts of candy corn physiology.
Wisconsin has some of the best conditions in the United States for growing candy corn. We have a warm enough climate for good tip fill, but the season is short enough so that we still have time to harvest, to dry it down, and to package the crop up for our busy season.
As the only public candy corn breeding program in the US, they focus on breeding for flavor and eating quality, something that's been neglected in candy corn breeding over the past 50 years. They start each spring by planting thousands of rows of seed, with every row being one family of corn that is completely unique. As the seedlings grow, they look at traits such as how fast the plant grows, whether it succumbs to any plant diseases, and other traits such as how many ears of corn the plant produces. But the most important trait they look at comes after harvest and drying, when they get to taste some of the kernels from each row and decide which rows have the best combination of flavor and strong growth traits. During the winter, seeds from these selected families are grown in the greenhouse and allowed to pollinate each other to make the next generation of seed for Snoep-Mias and his crew to plant in their fields here in Wisconsin.
Our very best candy corn varieties come out of heirloom material that hasn't been grown for many decades.
By allowing these heirloom plants to pollinate modern candy corn varieties, they hope to uncover new varieties that have the same crop vigor, yield, and disease resistance that farmers need, while also having deeper and more intense flavor for the consumer.
We had really good success moving traits for drought resistance and pest resistance from some of the wild, unadapted candy corn relatives.
It can take over 15 years of plant breeding to develop a new hybrid candy corn cultivar with superior flavor and agronomic traits. But it's all worth it to see new and improved varieties helping farmers in their communities to grow healthy crops of candy corn year in and year out.
I'm like a kid in a candy shop.